everyone once again. Today is the 11th of December and this is my second vlog for Spiritathon. Now, what I did read further in Tantric Jesus since yesterday was that, as I had mentioned, this book focuses on combining or interweaving the Vedantic philosophy of the Eastern mysticism as well as the Christian philosophy, which is Tantric in nature, from the Western mysticism. Now, it further tries to explain what these philosophies are. The first aspect which it explores is the human consciousness. So we do have the reptilian consciousness, which is everything to deal with survival. So it has everything to deal with the basic necessities which people usually struggle for, which is food, clothes, shelter, etc. And once they achieve it, there is a danger of going towards the ego-driven life. Now, the ego-driven life is something which we commonly experience together, and that is the main root cause of all the complications in our life. So once we start attaching ourselves to a sense of achievement and a sense of I am doing the work, that gives rise to ego. And with this ego comes the manifestation of different sorts of, I would say, anomalies which are present within, which work their way through the human consciousness. So this is the reptilian consciousness, and this is the lower part of the brain. Now, the higher part of the brain is the mammalian consciousness, and that is the consciousness which has everything to deal with the divine feminine. It has everything to deal. Why mammalian? Because it has everything to deal with compassion, with a wholesome issue, to see people together. For example, just have a look at any mother of a family. She wants everybody to be together. She wants every child to be nurtured and nourished. She wants to recognize the potentiality of every child, and she wants every child to blossom in their own nature. She wants the father of the entire family to blossom into his best, or to become the best, and the children should actually have the best of their father and their mother to nurture themselves and to carry forward in a better way, and of course by rising above the obstacles, etc. So that sort of consciousness is called mammalian consciousness, where everybody is seen as a collective family, so therefore the collective consciousness. The reptilian consciousness differs vastly in stating or in the mode of operation of survival of the fittest, which is I am greater than you, I can do such and such thing more than you, etc. So I hope that is absolutely clarified. So this is what this book explains. Also, it further states the difference between the Vedantic philosophy, which is very opposite in operation to the Tantric philosophy. So first, what this book does is tries to explain in very simple terms that the Vedantic philosophy is more about a non-dual approach, wherein, and it is a space where you negate things, wherein the soul is identified, or the person identifies himself or herself with the soul, and that soul is aimed to be, or to ultimately become, part of the ultimate reality, which is Brahman. Now, Brahman is the ultimate undivided reality which a soul should aspire to. So, and the rest of the aspects of this world are just an illusion. So therefore, the mode of operation for a person who is applying Vedantic philosophy in everyday life is a mode of negation, which in Sanskrit is termed as Vairagya. So Vairagya means you detach yourself. You detach yourself to most of the aspects. So that is the Vedantic philosophy. And the Tantric philosophy is to understand that the that consciousness, which is a unmanifested potential which is present in everyday life and in everything which is around us, has to be realized, or the potential has to be realized through the creative dynamic force which is presented through an individual who is practicing Tantra. So therefore it does not apply negation. In fact, it applies to transcendence. So for example, if this is the example which I am giving, it's not present in this book. If we go to work, if there are two individuals, one applying the Vedantic philosophy and one applying the Tantric philosophy, if there's an individual who tries to apply the Vedantic philosophy in a particular project at work, and there are, say, 3 obstacles which come at work, so the person with the Vedantic philosophy will try to detach himself from the obstacle and will try to perfect himself, because what he or she realizes is that he's the soul and he will be able to surpass any obstacle or deal with it, because he has to perfect himself towards the Brahman. So he will detach himself and work with the detached sphere to overcome that obstacle. A person who is applying the Tantric philosophy will understand, let's say that he has the same, or she has the same situation. They go to work. There are 3 I would say 3 obstacles which are present at work. So what they would do is they will try to see that this obstacle probably has a hidden potential. It has a hidden possibility. So he will or she will try to use his or her creative force to convert that obstacle into an opportunity. He will not detach, or she will not detach from it. They will try to overcome it or transcend it. So that act of sublimation and that act of transcendence, that act of conversion, and seeing that every obstacle is an opportunity, is a Tantric philosophy, whereas the aspect of detachment is the Vedantic philosophy. So both of them are doing or accomplishing the same aspects. One is detaching, the other is using his creative power, not attaching but transcending. So these are 2 aspects, detachment and transcendence, which are definitely seen. So in this book we do find the Christian aspect, in which the Tantra is realized through the mammalian consciousness, through and it is applied in a way that it will have the hidden potentialities which are realized through a spiritual creative power. So therefore in this book it is very clearly written that the term erotic is used in terms of loving desire, or loving pure spiritual desire, or I won't say it is devotion, but it is very close to devotion. So in applying all of this to daily life, it explores how the Christian philosophies can be applied, and it is not necessary for us to always detach, but we can use the principle of detachment and the principles of creative power both together, interweave them together, and then accomplish all our work in order to have a more nurtured and a more collective outlook of consciousness. So this is what I've read till today, okay, and it does follow further aspects of Christianity as well. That's all I've read for today, but I will be back tomorrow with another vlog into further things that I have read. So thank you so much for joining me.